I lost my daddy when I was a little soldier sibling. An early beginning, that's just the life that I was given. I kept on living, praying, hoping for some better days. I kept on smoking coke until I got a set of gray hair up off the top of my head. While I spit a free at the top of my head, I'm better off dead, bitch.
Well, I guess welcome to the Elite Player Network. You guys know me. It's your boy Faze from Elite Player Entertainment. Sitting down with probably the guy that got me started in this whole music shit for sure. Fucking, man. We've been through so much together. 17 plus years, 18 years. People want to know our story. A lot of people don't know all the shit we've done, all the shit we've been a part of. And, you know, I guess it's the time to sit down and talk about everything. Everybody keeps asking me stuff. I know people keep asking you stuff about things throughout the years. And, like, how do you, especially now, how do you sum up 17 years, you know, in, like, a 10-minute conversation? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, I've been meaning to sit down. And I was like, I can't sit down by myself without you because you're such a big part of my career. Vice versa, you know what I mean? Like, our careers are kind of, like, entwined, you know what I mean? We've done a lot of separate shit, but we started, you know, together, and we've always, like, popped up every now and then. Sitting with the homie, Mike Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is
yeah,
fun.
man.
I'm glad we actually we made this
bro.
happen pretty quick, too.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking dope. We're just like, hey, we should sit down. Next week we're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
That's
it's been good, bro. Like you were saying, that's funny. Well, I literally remember going to Columbia Academy doing audio engineering. That's where I met Faze.
That's where it all started, man. Columbia Academy.
And
Okay, so let's okay, before we get there, why did you go there? Like, what made you get into this whole music industry? Like, what did you want to do in audio engineering? Like, where did that come from?
For me, well, I just knew I had to do. If I was gonna do music, especially, like, you know, I wanted to know why, like, if fucking someone's changing a dial or like what exactly they're doing, because I'm in the studio anyway. That's what intrigued the shit out of me, you know, like.
Okay.
Originally, and I knew, like, if I go, I'm going to be filled with people, like, you know, like-minded people. You know, I knew networking, you know, even at that young age, I knew how important it was to get myself out there. And I'm glad I did, to be honest. Like, imagine we never went.
I know.
Isn't that, like, just,
that would
even, it's like, it's totally two different people would have still been the same phase in Mike.
Who knows, though?
I don't know,
It might
right?
be completely different. We, like, none of that stuff would have happened. Like, everything we're going to get into, like, none of that would have happened. So who knows what trajectory we would have. Like, it's kind of crazy how all that shit happened. we met each other and we're like, okay, fuck this school now. Like, that was the best thing that came out of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, it was good, man. No, it was real good, man. Honest, like, it was one of the best experiences of my life, going to school, doing audio engineering, you know, and just me. We met also another homie there, and it's good times, man. It was the start, definitely, to a lot of leading stuff, and the introduction album we did, and
I remember that. I remember. I feel like I was just over the whole class at that point. And, like, I just wanted to rap. And now I already knew how to use all the shit. Because that's what they taught me the whole time I was there. And I was like, all right, now I know how to do this. I can mix somewhat. I can kind of make some beats, maybe. And I was like, okay, I want to do this mixtape. And then, I don't know how it came across, but someone told me to, like, hit you up. It's like, yo, there's this white boy that comes to school here. He raps as well. You should talk to him. And I was like, all right. And the one that I just, like, I don't even remember that. I just come up to you, like, the next day or some shit. And just be like, yo, so...
I can't remember exactly. Right? Honestly, I think this is literally in my head what I remember.
Yeah.
I was sitting, like I said, in that corner, mixing.
Yeah.
And you just happened to, like... I think you purposely mixed near me.
Oh yeah.
Or
premeditated mix.
Or like, or something, or like, like, cause I seen you, and I can't remember. But I think you came up to me when I was mixing in the corner, not in my booth room.
Yeah.
I think I can't really remember, but
yeah,
I don't honestly 100% remember the exact moment.
I can't really remember the exact moment either.
But I'm pretty sure you came up to me and just tapped me on my shoulders like,
Yeah.
hey, man, you making beats? I was like, yeah, check it out. And I think that's literally how it started.
Okay, cool.
I think it was something along that
feel
line.
I
You're like, hey, are
definitely
you
went to
Mike?
you. I
Are you
definitely
making
went to you.
beats?
Because someone told me to hit you up. And I was like, okay, I gotta fucking find this guy. And then I think they probably told me like where you were or something, so I like looked for you.
Just go look in the mixing
Yeah,
room.
he's in his little
making
corner.
beats.
He's in his corner.
I always went to the same
fucking
place.
booth.
Yeah, I go to the same spot because it just. Well,
It's
and too,
comfortable.
sometimes like when you do the work on that computer,
It saves on the
it
computer.
stays on that computer for
Yeah.
a month,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or you have to have it on the hard drive. I remember one time I did a project
Yeah.
and like I didn't save it on the Friday or something. I left, then like didn't. I was like,
That's the
oh, and I had to
worst.
stay like, oh, I was
That's the worst. I feel like I did that before too.
Yeah.
It'll like start again. That's the worst, dude.
right.
Especially when you're like close to the end. It's like, fuck, I really just don't want to do this.
Oh man, that's
No, I
hilarious.
remember that for sure. And then it was like right away, right? I feel like, hey, you want to do this mixtape? We're like, okay. And then what? Did we just start right away? Just went in
You had
there.
Faze in the building ready to go. You already had that song. I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
was like you had that
We
or
definitely had
a
something.
premises
go-
of some songs already, and then
Yeah.
you wrote like another half when you met me.
Yeah, because I remember because Rush was also on that mixtape.
Yeah.
And that whole intro was just me and Rush.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even, well, like, I think Simon is also there too.
Right.
Remember that guy just came in. I think he was doing like voice work or something. He was in our thing, but like he was good at doing voice work.
Right.
And he did our intro. He's the one saying like,
Oh
Faze,
yeah.
Hammy,
Oh man.
Rush. That's Simon doing that. And he's just got his voice pitched and shit.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's so funny. And he was just so happy to be a part of it. He was dope. He was a nice guy. He still like follows us and like on Facebook and shit. I saw it today, like on our story and shit.
On mine.
Oh, both of ours.
Simon.
Simon.
Who?
Simon. You,
Oh,
that bald guy.
Oh yeah! Holy shit!
Yeah, he's the one on the intro.
Holy shit!
He's on the intro.
Oh my god! I forgot it. He was like from Toronto or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Man, that's crazy. I actually stayed in contact with
Yeah,
him.
no, he's a dope guy. for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
He's probably
the-
watching this. 100%.
Oh my God,
100% he's watching this.
Is this live too?
No, it's not.
Okay, yeah, but it will be. Yeah,
You're like, yo.
yo.
Yeah.
Shout out, mom. What up, mom?
Right.
Yeah. No, man. Honest, like.
You go home, you're like, did you watch the episode? You're like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
It's like not even out yet.
No,
that's
that-
funny.
That was good, man. And
Yeah,
then,
no, he did the intro of that for sure.
No, that's jokes. That's so crazy. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. The introduction. There was like, I think it was like 13 tracks on that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We did it all within a week.
Most of it.
Had the beats, like, wrote all the tracks. You came over to my house and we just wrote so many fucking tracks.
Hmm.
And just went to school and just laid them all down and went right to mixing.
That's crazy.
That was the best. I'd call you. I'd be at school in the morning. You'd be like, you're not there. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'd text you. You better bring your ass to school. I'm not mixing this whole thing by myself. We had like a limited time left or whatever. Like, we gotta get this done, man. And you're like, I'm coming, man. You roll in at like 1 o'clock. You're just like chilling.
That's crazy.
But you went right to work in your booth.
I would come. I remember
Right to your room.
I'd come. I'd literally come from Maple Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
I had to catch the. What time? I had to catch the early like. West Coast all the way down the waterfront. I remember a couple times you
Yeah.
even met me.
Yeah.
You're like, motherfucker, you better be on that train.
Yeah, where are you?
Like, I'm not
coming
even gonna
halfway.
meet you at the school. I'll meet you at the fucking waterfront. You're like sitting there with your leather jacket. You got your watch out.
Yo.
You're like, oh, dude, this guy is gonna run me into the ground with his ethics.
Hey, man. Gotta make sure.
No, it's good though.
Gotta
It's
get
good.
this shit done, bro.
It's just good to see someone, you
I
know,
feel
that
like I'm
works as
still
hard
like
as
that.
I do, if not more.
I feel
right?
like I'm still like
Oh
that.
yeah,
dude.
if not worse.
If people like show up late, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
it's a good thing.
dude, when I want to get this shit done, if people show up late or like they cancel and shit, I'm pissed. I'm like, fuck, man, like,
Yeah,
let's do this. You know what I mean?
yeah, for
I
sure,
mean, it's
man.
what it is. Yeah, I remember I'd have to meet you sometime just to make sure, you know.
So what
It was fun.
what did you like? What was your initial before like going to Columbia Academy? I know you're
Well,
going
I
through a
think-
lot of stuff, and it was like kind of like this is your moment. Like
Yeah.
what was your like you know?
I was
something
like-
I don't even know. What was something that you drove you to?
I
Columbia
just
Academy?
always been into music for sure. I was that kid in like preschool, kindergarten, like singing all the Michael Jackson songs. I knew all the fucking words. You know what I mean? Like I think I
Yeah,
went
that's
as
tight.
Michael Jackson for like Halloween one time, right? Had the red leather jacket. remember I had a guitar for some reason. He never played the fucking guitar, but I had one. It was fucking weird. I look back at it now, I'm like, why do I have a... Yeah, and then just rap music was fucking crazy growing up, listening to, like, the West Coast shit. Like, I don't know, I just, like, went right to it, just like, you know, everyone else around here. But I... Just, like... I don't know, it was more than just the music. Like, I don't know, it, like, triggered me, like... I don't know, just the feeling you get when you listen to it, you know? And just, like... I don't know, rapping along was just, like, so much fun or whatever. And then in high school, I just started writing. And then, you know... Then I started rapping, and like I sucked at the beginning, and then I would just rap along to all my favorite artists and study like their, not just like the words, but I would study their cadence and their flow. I'd pause when they pause. I'd you know, make my voice higher when they did, and I would just learn all the different styles. I would learn like every single artist's flow, so that when I write, that shit would like come out, I guess. But then I was like kind of versatile with it. Then I could switch it up so many times because I'd study so many different styles, right? But I still didn't have the confidence. I never thought I was good enough. Like, I was a shy kid growing up, right? So I would rap, and I would record it on my computer, on fucking sound recorder, on my stupid little mic, you know what I mean?
I remember
You'd have to, like, bring the music close to the speaker, and then hit record on the mic, and have it just close enough.
Back in the day,
yeah, and then you'd rap the verse, and like, oh, the beat's too loud, so you start again, and then, like, you couldn't mix anything, right? I don't know, it was like a whole thing. And then just, yeah, like, fucking I did that for like so long, and then I was doing all that stuff on the beat message board, the fucking text battles and shit like that, and I was smoking people. And then I was just, but still at that point I was just like, I never had confidence or whatever. I got into a car accident when I was like 21 or whatever, and that shit was pretty bad. But then I was in the hospital, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, when I get out of here, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna try it. At least if I blow it, then I blow it, whatever. But like, I wanted to do it so bad that I had to just get out of my shell and just fucking put myself out there. And so as soon as I got out, I fucking signed up for audio engineering school and then just showed up and like, all right, let's see what we can do here.
No, it was cool. And just for the record too, there was lots of people at our school at the time now, that went on like just Kid Carson was in there doing audio engineering or for his stuff. There's us.
That's crazy. I don't even remember that.
I didn't know, but see now when I think, I had to think back on all these memories.
Yeah.
For it to go, because I know his face, and I always like even when I saw him.
Yeah.
On the beat, I'm like, I know that guy. Like I've seen him.
He looks familiar.
I knew, but I didn't even click until, like, I can't remember what because I've talked to him a couple times. I know he went to the Columbia Academy, but I didn't click. It was at the same time till I started thinking of memories too. And I remember seeing his bald head. It was just in like it was in the main two rooms, and I come to the right, and then that was it. But it's legendary because like even no matter what the skills you learn, the networking there was insane. Like even still still this day, like meeting you alone was like just like, you know what I mean, totally changed my life trajectory. My life, my group, my friendship, my perspective, like my fucking everything, so.
No, definitely.
And then doing the introduction that we did, and then that led, just kind of getting the ball rolling.
People fucked with that. The whole school like knew about that project.
Yeah.
We were walking down the street, and the teachers would be like rapping the word. They'd be like, "Faze in the building."
Yeah, that's so
crazy.
Good,
yeah, that teacher. Yeah, he had that group Nova Static.
Mm-hmm.
We shouted it out on the album.
Yeah, Nova Static.
Yeah, like Nova Static, baby.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
he did it on one of the songs.
He's probably in the studio like, yeah.
Wow.
He was dope as fuck though. He was a good teacher.
That is hilarious.
But like he loved that the whole fucking album, man. He would be rapping all the lyrics and stuff every time I walked by him. He'd be like, "Yeah, Faze in the building." I'm like, "Yeah, man." Like on my way to school. It was so funny.
Jokes.
Yeah, no, it was static. That was dope. And then what? Okay, so then from there, I feel like the keepsake. You're like, "Oh, there's a couple guys you should come meet," right? You had already known those guys from before.
Again, I can't remember how it all exactly.
I remember telling you like there's some guys out of Maple Ridge, and there's a label. They might be interested in signing us, and like we got something going on. There's already a group. Maybe you can be part of it or something. And then I started coming out to Maple Ridge with you.
Yeah, lots.
Right? Yeah.
I remember, yeah, that's
It was a fucking Shrek out
Yeah,
there,
it was
man.
so
And
funny.
it was always foggy every time I went out there. Like, why is it always foggy in Maple Ridge?
Oh, man.
Is that just like how it is here?
in the morning now.
Yeah, dude. It was so funny. I'm like, again? And it took so long to get out there, too. I was like, holy fuck.
That's funny.
Yeah. We met Il Kid.
Yeah,
Yeah. He used to take me to his studio, introduce me to him.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to lay shit down in that. He had a dope studio. He had a big space. And then he had like a separate booth
He
with the
did.
glass on it and the
Yeah.
shit, right?
It was built. It was nice.
Mhm.
That was we did a lot of recording there too back in the day.
Yeah, and he was doing his rap thing too.
Yeah, that was super dope. Yeah, and then
So how did the whole thing with Keep Six start then? Like, how did we?
well, with so many different angles, but we all were just. There was DZ Man.
So
me.
how did you start with them? How did you meet them and stuff?
I met Brad and Shelby through my buddy Josh and Fergus and Caleb, and I just went to his house one day,
Yeah.
and I knew Brad, and I didn't really know Shelby too well. Had like Brad was making beats, and then I met him through that, and that's how they had the label through Sean, and then I met DZ Man through my buddy Adam Martin.
Right.
And I'll never forget the day too. Like I was at my grandpa's. I'm literally like in the washroom. I think I was even taking a shit, and I was like fucking. Adam calls or someone, and I'm like, okay, I'll meet this guy. Come up there, and I meet DZ, and I'll never forget DZ. So when you meet a guy, he's trying to impress me, like to manage him in a sense.
Yeah.
So he's like, smoking me up, not really talking too much, just trying to like keep it cool because I can tell he's a little nervous, and I'm nervous too, trying to like. Being an A&R, trying to go fucking scout talent, like 20 years old. I don't know what the hell I'm really doing either.
Right.
But I
just
do
playing
like
the part.
Yeah,
You got
I do.
it. You got it. Yeah,
But-
for sure.
And then so he goes and puts the album on, and I expect for him to play it.
Right.
He hopped on the fucking couch, and he was instrumentals. He
Yeah.
started performing live for me.
Yeah.
With his
The
fro. It was a
Nice.
short room like this, so when he hops on the couch,
Yeah.
his fro's hitting the ceiling as he performs. And he's like, check the flows within my ill mental.
He just went in, eh?
And he went
He got
in,
to
and
you.
I was like, this is my guy. I was like, I knew right then and there. I just like it,
Yeah.
just the passion he was putting into it, and the fact that he did it live.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't even matter like how good. The fact he did that, I was
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
Above
Like
and
that's
beyond.
that was something I didn't even expect. It blew me out the water.
There you go.
And he's just performing. He's like, hands are all over. His fro's hitting the roof. He's got sweat dripping.
That's
And then
so
he's
funny.
like, yeah, man, was that good? And then he sat
Was it
down.
good?
Like, yeah, and
what'd
then
you think?
and that was kind of that. And then that was like my guy for that. And then same thing. And then so the pieces started slowly coming together, right?
Mhm.
And then going to audio and engineering, meeting you, and then I'm like, oh, like the dope ass lyricist, hardworking. You got a dope tone. DZ comes with this personality through the roof. He's got the look. He's got a sound. He can make hooks for days. He can come up with these super singing hooks.
Yeah.
Shelby was singing. Brad had good voice and beats. And I brought like, heart and soul and everyone together and like familyness and like bars and soul. And we all bring this super awesome, weird, different technique.
Yeah.
And we're
all brought
all
something
all
different.
completely different. Not
Yeah.
It's not even alike at all. But
Yeah.
when we're together and we're on stage, it was cool. Like even at the time, like in 2007, there wasn't a lot of guys putting on like that
Yeah.
in groups.
Yeah.
Like at that caliber of a group that were so in rehearsed and well rounded and so different.
Yeah.
It literally at the time was insane because one of my favorite groups in the city from Vancouver was like Concise and Checkmate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget this. I don't know if I've ever told you. I don't even think we talked about this the other night.
Oh shit! About to drop a bomb.
So
over
so
it.
we
By
did
the way.
So we did the number 5 Orange. Do you remember this? We did 2 of them.
Mhm.
Vic Vodka I think invited us out. P-Man. So we
Yeah.
did or the Drake.
2 performances.
The Drake or what was it? The Drake
was
or
one
the
of
Orange?
strip clubs.
One of the strip clubs. It was the last. We did one.
I remember that.
And then we did another one. It was the last one. It was like with Hydro, Concise Checkmate, Cannabis, Keep 6, There was like DJ Chemo, I think was the DJ. Like there's a flyer
Yeah.
for it. I have the flyers in my old
Yeah.
things. I should have brought them over. It's crazy. So I'll never forget this. Is
You have
like
a flyer for that show?
I have all these flyers. I
Yo, I wanna
saved
see that.
flyers. I
Yeah.
saved.
I have a bunch of
I
flyers
saved
too.
them.
I don't think I have that one though. I have a lot of flyers.
I have
online
old
for that.
tickets from shows you did and I did. I should have
Yeah.
brought them. Could have looked at them. It would
Yeah.
have been fucking awesome. But
Yeah. Bring them next time. I'll bring mine too. I have a whole box full of this shit.
yeah, and
it was like 300 tickets. We sold like 50. It was like 250
Oh,
tickets
yeah.
left, and I have them all still.
but and yeah, we're outside like blazing, and this was like the second time we got invited back because we really killed it. And we brought a huge crew.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember it was like really one of those defining moments when we're like, oh shit, like we're definitely a group to not be fucked with in the city at the time.
Yeah, and even like
we almost
outgrowing the shows that we were doing.
Yeah,
at that
for
point,
real,
for
100%. And that was
Yeah.
like one of those moments, and I never forget this too. Being fans of Concise and Checkmate too at the time, and I remember when we showed up, they were just like blazing, and in my head I'm like, oh shit, that's Concise and Checkmate, and they were pointing at us. Oh fuck, that's Keep Six.
Yeah.
And I seen them, they're like, hey, blah, 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 and I heard, oh, Keep Six.
Yeah.
They were fucking talking about us.
Well, that's dope.
Not in like
That's
in a
dope.
bad way, but I remember, and I
Yeah.
don't even think I've ever told this to anyone. I just
Yeah.
something I remember noticing
Remember them noticing
that
us?
they were noticing us as we come in. Like, yo, those are those guys. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that we were getting known, or even
That's pretty cool.
within little circles getting known at the time
Yeah.
for being the like.
From
for
like
what-
they were like kind of like our peers at that
Especially,
point. You know what I mean?
100%,
Like, already
I-
in the game, like, and then
Lo-
like looking
legends.
at us, like, oh, these kids are like up next or something.
For
shit,
for
you know
like,
what I mean?
for legends to even say that at that time for me,
sure.
that was like a big moment for me, and I'll never forget that. That
yeah,
was
that's
like,
definitely a big deal because we were still just getting started at that point.
I
You
think
know
we were
what I mean?
like 20.
Yeah.
One. I don't even think
Yeah, it was before like any. We were still just like we just started and we were still
was
doing all
just
those like
fresh.
small shows and stuff still. Yeah, no, for sure, man. That's pretty cool. I remember doing those strip clubs. Though.
yeah, right.
yeah.
And yeah, Vic Vodka, P-Man,
Yeah, the whole like high stakes.
High Stakes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the Hydro and
Yeah.
or no, it was P-Man Cannibalist,
P-Man Cannibalist
and
and
Vic Vodka High Stakes. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Forgot about that too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're getting old school, bro. Like some guys.
Well,
don't
we'll
even
talk
know.
about that later because they're on, you know, the All Stars and all that shit.
But yeah,
We'll get to that for sure.
and then,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, and then it all came together, man. Like, the Keep Six era was pretty crazy, and we did a lot of rehearsing.
The first day I met them, did you bring me to, like to the studio or something? Like where did I meet all of them?
I can't remember
Like,
exactly.
did we just go straight to the North Van studio? And...
You knew DZ prior.
Okay.
You knew DZ
Yeah.
prior to that
Right.
because I don't remember, and
Maybe at like a show or something.
you still it's so hard to remember
Yeah, I
exactly
know. It's hard.
moments.
The whole part's like there's so many parts that are just like kind of like a blur. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
We're just hanging out one day. It's like, well, how did this happen?
well, it's at that time too. A lot of things were happening so fast.
Yeah.
Like
I remember coming to your
at
street,
that
street
age,
beats.
it's so many things. We're all doing so many things, and
Yeah.
we all combine. And doing the street beats.
You had street beats. Was I part of Keep Six at that point?
No,
No, right?
no, I
So
didn't
that's
even
before
know.
that.
I didn't. That's just when I met you.
Yeah.
I just.
you told me about
I
the
was
show.
already. I already had
Yeah.
the flyers.
I remember the flyers, that blue
For
flyer
those-
and
yeah,
shit.
I
it's
had
Street
the-
Beats on it with
I,
the chain.
I had Street Beats 2
Yeah.
already in the works, and then I had the Capitol show already going
Yeah.
at the same time. Like I had the
So
flyers.
you were already putting on shows.
I was
and shit,
already
yeah.
putting on shows when I met you, and I gave you the flyer
Yeah.
for Street Beats 2.
Yeah, no, I remember.
If
that.
not the Capitol one.
Probably
And
both.
I'm not sure if you came or not, but it was at that transitional time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
I came to the Street Beats one for sure.
Yeah,
I
you-
remember seeing.
you
It
came
was in that hall, right?
yeah, you came to the number 2 one.
Yeah.
That was with Cannibalist,
Mhm.
and the first one was packed to shit. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
The
Even-
second one, I
it-
just remember networking and meeting like a bunch of people.
yeah, it was
There.
good. It was on. It was crazy because we actually booked it. It was on a freaking prom night. So it was the
Oh, for
Maple.
real?
That's why it was on the Maple Ridge prom night.
Oh,
So
okay.
everyone was out. Are you going to come to a hip hop show to pay, or are you going to go to free
Oh.
house parties all around the city?
Yeah.
So
facts.
we didn't know, and
Oh,
it
is that
just
why?
landed. Yeah, it is
Oh,
what it
okay.
is. But these are how you
I mean,
learn.
I
This is
feel
how
like-
you learn things as a promoter.
Yeah.
To look into other things that
looking
aren't
at the
in-
dates that you booked.
Yeah,
for a
even though if
reason,
it's even though there may not be hip hop shows, there's something to competition.
Yeah.
We didn't think
We didn't look into
when
it.
no
yeah.
one really knew.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
Because they not decided. So
No, for sure. No, definitely.
yeah, crazy, man. And I'm
Yeah. Yeah, so then I remember, okay, so we linked up, now we're part of Keepsakes. When did the paperwork get involved? That came like, I feel like, while we were making the album kind of thing, right?
It wasn't 100% done still.
Yeah. And we had Kai producing it.
Yeah, we had our boy
Who was
Kai.
part of, what was the name of his group?
Methods of Mayhem.
That's crazy that he was our producer.
Yeah.
This guy, I remember you telling me, like, he lived with, like, Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson
did.
and shit, like...
Yeah, the guy...
And now he's just there, like, mixing our shit.
Kai
What the
Happinen. Shout out to Kai wherever you
Shout
are,
out to
man.
Kai.
We love you, bro. And
Show, man. He was dope.
he was
for it,
always
man.
really good to us. Yeah,
He's a good guy. He was always, like, super chill, too.
Yep,
He's always
super
good
chill.
vibes. Yeah.
And he was in a group and best friends. So he was just like how me and you are. That's him and Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee? Okay.
That's Kai and Tommy Lee. They were best buddies as
That's
well.
sick.
And
That's
they
pretty
started bands together, and they went platinum, I think, in the States, and then gold in Canada with their albums. Like,
Yeah.
they did really major stuff. And
For
so
sure.
for to even have like Kai in the in of that caliber, mixing and doing beats, and
Yeah. Like, we had no
and,
business
like,
having somebody like that. Mixing
unreal.
our stuff. Like, we just started.
I remember.
And now we
I
got
don't
this
know-
crazy producer like,
Dude,
hey guys,
you-
like, mixing our, we're like, what the fuck?
he would pull me into his
Making it
room.
sound so good and shit.
He would pull me into his room,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, he'd do it individually. I know he did it to you and collectively, but
Yeah.
but to really get a sense where your head is at, and then he'd have his plaque on the wall, and then while you're talking to him, and he totally knows it's the
We're
plaque
looking at
is
the
there.
plaque.
He knows it's there, and that's why he's doing this purposely. So
Yeah.
when you're listening to him talk to you, and his plaque of gold, a gold in Canada and the States is on the wall behind you.
You're listening.
And you're like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's been through the works.
Yeah.
If he's telling me things, I'm going to listen. If he tells me, I'm
For
going to
sure.
at least take it into consideration.
100%.
And he really helped me, like, mentally, like, deal with the pressure
Yeah.
of, you know, being a 20-some-year-old little dude in this huge situation that I don't even now looking back, we were in a better situation at that time. Not saying now, but because I wouldn't, but it was just such a really raw, intense,
Yeah.
crazy situation that,
Right.
and not in a bad way. It was just a lot of pressure. You know,
There
it
was a
was
lot going
a lot
on
of
at that,
pressure.
yeah.
A lot of pressure to succeed. A lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But in good ways. And when Kai brought you in and he had that gold on the wall, it's like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
like,
For sure. And even in that whole process, because I was going through a lot of stuff at that time too, so I wasn't even really present, right? Like I'm only on 4 of the songs on the Keepsakes
Mhm.
album, and
And-
those 4 songs
and-
are, but those 4 songs are the singles.
are the fire.
So it's very convenient. the 4 songs
Yeah,
that,
that's
that
why.
we performed.
that's
Right?
why they're so hot.
So yeah. No, I wouldn't say that. I'd just be like, I think it was purposely that make sure that he's on these songs because these are the ones that are gonna be the ones that we perform mainly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones are dope too, but they're album cuts, right? They're a little bit, they're not really performance vibe. I mean, some of them probably are, but there's a lot of them that are like a little bit slower and stuff. Like you can't really
Mhm.
perform them and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But dude, the production on that is pretty sick.
Well,
Like
yes.
it's crazy, especially at that time too.
The production.
Like we never
is-
had anything like that. At
Dude,
that
like,
point. We're just like,
to
what the
listen-
fuck? We're just like, this?
it put on the Keepsakes and that. It's like, dude, it's like,
Yeah,
it literally, even till to this day, if you put on the Keepsakes album, the quality
Yeah.
and the beats and like how we're mixed,
mm-hmm.
like they literally did make us sound the best that we could at that time
for sure.
within their, you know, doings. The
No,
beats could have been different or whatever because we had a rock guy, and
Yeah.
kind of switch. It's kind of a little switch on our sound where me and Faze are like, you know, we're traditional like lyricists and raw beats and
Yeah,
kind of faster pace, and it went into more musical
yeah,
stuff, which is good though. It
Yeah.
took us out of my shell, and plus we didn't have access to drummers and guitars, and we had a Econoline. The guy from Default
yeah.
sang on our album. I don't remember what songs. I think on
Oh,
the end
yeah.
of the world. It's the end
That
of
song
the
is
world.
sick.
That's Default. That's the guy from Default.
Yo, Default was on our album.
Isn't that crazy? I know. Isn't that nuts?
Bro, we didn't deserve any of this. What the fuck? We're not even signed at this point. We just walk into this situation. We got Kai giving us production. We got Default doing backup vocals.
We have a gold. I know.
Default's doing our backup vocals on the hook. That's crazy. I remember that hook though.
And
I know that. I remember that track.
Yeah,
that track is fire.
that
I think that's the last song.
That's
on the album,
me
I
and
think,
you.
too,
It's
or
just
something.
me and you too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
It is.
No, wait. I'm not on that song.
Isn't it?
I don't think I'm on that song.
Oh wait, no, wait.
No, I'm not on it.
Oh yeah, I rap about you.
It's a
know?
fire.
Like,
Yeah,
my
you
time.
mentioned me.
It's my
It's
time.
like, I'm not on it, but I'm on it.
Yeah.
You got me on it.
I forgot that. Yeah,
You threw my name in there.
Time, like, homie face it.
I wasn't present. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't present, but you kept me. But
Of
you've always
course.
been like that too. You've always like made sure I was like involved, even if I wasn't there. You know, that was, yeah, but I'm not even on that song. I'm only on 4 songs. I'm on Get Fucked Up, on Your Boys Are Back, which is just me and you. And then I'm on, am I on Radio Song?
No. You're on Amidst the
No.
Chaos. Amidst the
Oh,
Chaos.
yeah.
You kill that verse
Yeah, I'm
too.
on that one. Oh, I totally forgot about that one.
I know, right?
But I'm on a 4th one. Which one am I on? Oh, there was... Yeah, there's... We gotta Get Fucked Up is that one. I don't know, I'm on a 4th one. I can't remember which one it is. But I know I'm only on 4. And we perform all 4 of them.
Yeah, I can't
I don't
remember.
know what the other one is.
Put me on the spot.
I'm gonna pull up the album.
Oh man.
I don't even know where. I have it
jeez.
somewhere.
That's
I don't know
that's
where it
that
is.
fire.
Yeah. No, but it was dope. I remember we used to do the rehearsals too.
Yeah, man.
Like once or twice a week or something. Once a week.
Yeah, man. So, I'll explain what
Yeah. Go in.
So even prior to the rehearsals,
This is why I need you, because I don't remember a lot of this stuff.
Well,
Like,
we went over this, but we did a show, and our main boss guy was like, and I do admit, like, the sound in this club was really bad, so they like bought us a new sound equipment
I
stage,
remember that.
bought us a new equipment. We and you know it's crazy.
Did we
like
just bring it with us whenever we did
everywhere
shows and
we
shit?
went, we carried it up the stairs. Jones would come.
That's
We
nuts.
had a sound guy. We literally had the whole crew,
Yeah.
and people.
We
would
just
follow
started,
us.
dude. We just brought that shit with us everywhere. People don't even bring like their own mics
No,
now.
people don't even.
Like,
We would
what
bring
the
our
fuck?
own.
We brought our
That's
own sound system.
Insane.
People complain about the music and they don't do anything about it. They just
Our
complain.
sound
we
system-
brought our own
Our
fucking
sound system was so good that,
I mean, to be fair,
that like Emotions and other people would rent it out off us sometimes to
Yeah.
use as part of the night too.
I was gonna say
Literally.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
not joking.
but I was gonna say, to be fair, we didn't pay for it. The label paid
Yeah,
for
we didn't
it,
pay
so
for
we
it.
didn't.
I didn't
We
pay
can't
for
really take credit
anything.
for
No,
it.
no,
Like, but like we made it happen. At least our label or whatever did it. So I mean,
But I'll never. Yeah, and we.
but still, you know.
And yeah, what was it? It was either Monday, Thursday, or it was like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. That's what it was.
Rehearsals?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, yeah.
We rehearsed Tuesdays and Thursdays for 2 hours
Yeah.
for like
In Burnaby.
the whole year.
Yeah.
Like
I remember those
pretty
rooms and
much
shit.
the whole year. Like no shit.
Yeah.
Like how many guys, like, let's just be honest, like, can actually say right now even that practice their stuff 2 times a week, and not only 2 times a week, all together in a rehearsing spot.
Yeah.
We really did take it serious.
And we
were
rehearsed
so
like we
serious.
were performing.
We
We
were-
weren't just
oh,
sitting there
yeah,
rapping.
no,
we
no.
were putting on a fucking show to nobody, to the fucking wall in front of us.
and then
We had the DJ set up and like everything.
and same, and this is a little pre to it, but DZ man, rest in peace, went up to fucking DJ Alibaba like a boss, and completely was just nice, short and sweet. Hey man, DZ man, I'm part of Keep Six. We're a really good up and coming crew. We would just like to maybe have some time with you, and we'll have a sit down one day. And I hope you have a really good night. Basically, something along that, short and sweet.
Yeah.
And you know, like we.
He didn't jump on the couch and start rapping.
No, but
it's the DZ man.
and
He didn't
and
do
all
none of that.
and Alibaba wouldn't really to work with a lot of people to give his time. So when we
Alibaba at that point, imagine how many people were hitting him up. Hey,
Crazy.
listen to my
Oh,
demo. Hey,
everybody.
Listen to my track. He was
'Cause
the biggest
he
DJ
was-
in the city
he was
at that
the
point.
biggest DJ
Yeah,
on
like he was
on
the guy at that point.
Superfly
So-
was coming up, and Flip Out was still was the other one, right? Flip
Yeah,
Out was
Flip Out,
just
yeah.
about as big, but
Yeah.
on the radio,
Yeah, Ali was the guy.
Alibaba, DJ Alibaba,
Yeah.
Peace out to my homie there, and no, Bert,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, like
Yeah, so we hit up Alibaba.
And to have him like in the rehearsal with us, like giving
and he
us
was
pointers,
and he just came
and
through.
like watching our timing off, and like making like, Mike, you're a little off here, like little stuff. Like it was like, whoa, man, like
yeah, man,
I don't even
at certain
have that
points
now.
in the song. It's like, okay, now you walk up and do your verse and you go with them, and like I remember at some parts when I'm like rapping, he would make like Shelby like stand beside me. It's like, okay, you rap to her kind of thing, and kind of like motion to her during these parts, like specific parts of the verse.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was like little things. A lot of the stuff was rehearsed, so we would do it live. It was like choreographed, kind of. You know what I mean?
Was,
like
though,
there was
we
like
literally
not like overdone it, but there was a lot of it was though.
But
like,
our movements, like
movements
if we're like
sure.
this,
yeah.
you know, one would
Like,
when
we had a
one
plan.
switches, one crosses, and then if it's your turn and you're on the outside, we know your verse is coming up. We slowly we would just mold to the left or the right. If three guys are on the left, I know to mold to the right to let you go in the middle. Like just little subconscious stuff like that.
For sure.
And it was all unison. Like we would never even bump. We're like,
yeah, because I remember
when we get chords to caught sometimes too. But
what's that?
We get chords like because.
Well, yeah,
we didn't have
that's
the
what
mics.
I'm saying.
That's what
At
I'm
the
saying.
shows, like, we don't have 5 mics at a lot of these shows, so we have to know when to pass the mic off, and we can't be all tangled and shit.
That's
so
why
do the verse and then walk backwards back to your spot, and then pass the mic off as you're going around, and don't trip over the mic or the fucking cord or whatever, right? Like, everything was like, it was perfect. It was like set up, you know what I mean? So, but that shit's important. I feel like a lot of people don't do that nowadays. You know what I mean? People barely do mic check. Which fucking blows my mind. I would not do a show without doing mic check. First of all, I bring my own mic when I do shows. I have my cordless mic right there. I bring it with me if I'm gonna perform, and I'll do like the full mic check like hours before I even, do a set. People just show up now and be like, okay, I'm here to rap. Like, no, the sound here sucks. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
they're gonna sound like shit, and then they're gonna blame me or blame the club. It's like, okay, well. Yeah, so Alibaba definitely, and then he brought us to like a few of his nights or whatever, and like
Volume 11,
perform Volume 11,
right near the border.
He used to pick me up on Thursdays, and drive me all the way there. I'd go with him, and it was $1 highballs, and we used to market it because it's right at the border. Like my shit would literally switch. The network was switched to like AT&T or some shit when I got there.
Because it thinks
we used to market it in the States because all the people in the States used to come over it because the drinking age is 21 there, but 19 here, right? So everybody from like Seattle, like Washington or whatever would come across the border.
I remember that one time when we had a Los and we had the whole bus out and there's a bunch of us.
Yeah.
And then there was always like 20 or 30 of like the people right from Washington that would come and party. I remember like a one group that would come up all the time for us.
Yeah.
I don't remember who they were. It was like 5 to 10 guys
there
and
was
a
a
couple
few like
girls.
regulars that came out.
They would come up literally from Washington just to see us.
Yeah, I remember that for sure.
I don't remember any of their names anymore, but I do remember them. just
Yeah. I remember we did a show. I can't remember where it was. It's probably like Kelowna or on the island or some shit, and it was like in a gym. And they had like a stage and stuff too, and they had a separate section, but it was just like
I remember that.
There was just I don't know what you call like
that was
dividers.
In
there was like the Kamloops.
It was in the Kamloops.
There was just like dividers that had like the green
gym.
room kind of thing.
It was on the res in the bottom.
And I remember rapping on stage, and the girls like pulling on my pants as I was like rapping and shit, like pulling on my hoodie as I'm like leaning over. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like that was crazy. Like, they were going nuts. Like, they'd never seen rappers before or some shit. Like, they probably get, like, one rap show a year, and that was us. You know what I mean? I'm, like, rapping, like, leaning over the crowd, and then they're, like, pulling my hoodie and pulling my pants. I'm like, yo, this is nuts.
That reminds me of when we did Atlantis.
Remember
that? And it was 500
Atlantis
plus,
sick,
and it got switched to Boss, and there's this one iconic picture of us, and it's like...
is there?
Yeah, there's this... I had on my old... I had all these... There's a professional picture, and there's a couple of, like, me and Brad, like, when we're super young. And there's one with you and me, I think, that same night. And I'll never forget. It's the same thing that kind of happened on DZ. So my buddy's... Chris is front row, and... And DZ was doing... And we only did 3 songs, I'm pretty sure. And DZ's front row, and it was... Same thing, and there's this fucking chick... pulling on DZ's leg, and he's like rhyming, and he like shook her off. She wouldn't let go.
While he's
She wouldn't let go to the point where he's like, ah.
Really?
Yeah, he kicked. No, not like kicked her. He just kicked to like
to get his
to just try and get.
Yeah.
And I think it hit her drink, and then she like, and she wasn't even mad. She's just like, yeah, like
yeah, she fucking deserved it.
I just don't. It's just
That's so funny. Though.
So it's just one of like little things I remember.
Yeah.
And it was a packed. It was 500 plus show, and
yeah,
probably 300 or.
That was
something.
a dope venue. I like that venue.
It was the best sound too.
Yeah, I ended up doing like the Fridays there like once a month, and I performed a few times.
Yeah, I remember.
After that, yeah, when it became Boss.
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
That was a cool venue, man.
Right? There's another one, just another crazy big shows we're doing. Like
Dude,
at
we
the
did
time,
so many, yeah.
Like that was like 100. Like those are even some bigger shows that I'm doing now for mess sakes. Like
were we signed at that point?
Yes, but I don't remember if it was all finalized. It's all in that.
No,
time.
I remember. Oh, man, I remember being like so up and down with the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think I made it clear. Like I was only there for you. Like I didn't give a fuck. 'Cause I used to get into it with everyone else. Like I never really got along with. Like me and DZ did, right? Like I used to chill with him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I don't know, just. I don't know. I feel like there was always like something going on with us. Like I feel like I didn't really fit in with that group, and I was just kind of there, like just chilling with you, kind of thing. And then we just go out and like party in Maple Ridge, and I'm just kind of like I don't fit in the scene. Right? Like why am I here? And it's like all right, I don't know. And then I remember when they were mixing the album, and then we got the contracts. And then they wouldn't let us hear the album until we signed the contracts. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Thought they were on our side. Like, what the fuck? And then suddenly we had like lawyers that they wanted us to go see. And I'm like, wait a minute. They're providing the lawyers? That doesn't make sense. Are they our lawyers or are they their lawyers? Like, what is going on? And I didn't want to do it, but like everybody wanted to hear the album. Everyone's so excited, which I understand. Like I get it, but it's also like we gotta work with these people, and they're pulling this kind of stuff. You know, like they won't even let us listen to it.
It's a little persuasion.
And bro, we're kids. Like we just want to hear what it sounds like. We're so excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like can we just like hear it? We're in the studio. They're like, nope. Like it sounds amazing though. Like all right. And then I remember I was just like, I didn't want to do it, and they would just get pissed off at me, and just like yell at me on the phone and shit. And I was just like, all right, fuck it. And then one day I just like came and like signed it, just so we could like go and listen to it or whatever. But it was shit like that always like came without that a lot of people I guess didn't even know, right? Because we never like talked about it outside of the group or anything. That people just think I just like left one day.
Yeah.
Which I mean I kind of did. No, do people even know the reason why I was just suddenly not in the group, like, overnight? We literally performed and killed it, and I was out of the group the next day. Like, I was just gone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I don't even know, because I wasn't there at that point, like, I don't even know what the story was on their end. Like, I don't know what they were telling people, and I've always just, like, wondered that, but also it's, like, it happened so long ago, I was just, like... whatever. But I would see stuff like there'd be like comments on like I think I saw it on a YouTube video. Was it a YouTube video or something like on a Facebook video or some shit like that, right? And it's like, oh, there used to be another member, but he went to jail, so he left the group and they replaced him. And I was like, what? I was like, I never went to jail. Like what? Like what the fuck is this? I'm like, did they tell people I went to jail or who is this person? Man. Oh my god, there was like all kinds of stuff. And I just kind of like, at that point, at that whole scene, I just completely left. Like that whole group, all those friends, like everything, I kind of like distanced myself. And I started doing my own thing. That's when I really launched Elite Play. Like I was still doing Elite Players during then, because we were doing mixtape stuff with Keep Six. Yep. And I was still repping Elite Players.
You still had it, because you still had it.
Yeah.
Even prior, right? Even before me. You had the idea and everything already.
Well, I came up with Elite Players when I was in grade 8, when I was 13 years old.
That's crazy.
That's when I came up with the name, and I would put it in my raps and stuff. But I think I actually made it like a company after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like we don't have to get into details about what happened there, but I know people want to know exactly, like at least whatever summed up. So when we were in Keep Six or whatever, so we were doing those kind of shows. We were doing like the strip clubs, and we were doing like Lamplighter on a Wednesday, and all these places, whatever, right?
Wow.
But then, like you said, we were outgrowing those places. Our fan base was getting pretty big. We were packing shows. Like you said, we did fucking levels. Those 500 people. I mean, it was busy already, but a lot of them were there to see us. A lot of people came early for us, and we were doing a lot of those big shows. And it's like, okay, we need to start getting like Fridays and Saturdays at big clubs. And I'm like, I don't know anybody that is like. I don't know any local artists that were doing Fridays and Saturdays. And, like, I didn't know any promoters in the scene. I didn't know any DJ. Like, I didn't know anybody. And I'm shy as fuck, so I wasn't going out. I was going to, like, Maple Ridge with you guys. Like, partying and shit. And then I was like, all right, well, fuck it. We've done enough of these shows. We were doing house parties and stuff. Right? We were doing all that shit. Those are super fun, though. But I was like, okay, we've outgrown this stuff. Our fan base is getting bigger. We need to do Fridays and Saturdays. I didn't know anyone, so I started going out to clubs, introducing myself to everybody from like bouncers, store people, the staff, the DJs, eventually the promoters, and then finally it was like a Wednesday at Wild Coyote, and one of the promoters, I talked to him about like helping out and helping to promote the events or whatever, and he gave me a shot. He's like, okay, here's like some tickets, just sell them and come back next week. And he probably gave me like 20 tickets, and I sold them all, and I gave all the money back. He's like, all right, let's see if you can do it again. I did that for like 3-4 weeks or whatever. And every time I did it, I would give 100% of the money back. I'm just trying to like make a name for myself. I'm just trying to get in. I'm just trying to get in there, trying to get the connection. I didn't care about the money. I wanted access.
Of course.
Yeah, so I was doing that shit. Then I told them like I rap as well. I have a group. I was bringing in so many people to the club already, just like that. So he's like, okay, you guys can do a show. So then I told you guys, I'm like, yo, let's do a show. We got Wild Coyote. And then we fucking just went nuts on that show. And I think for the week before, I hadn't given him the money for the tickets. So, or it might have even been for that show, but I wasn't making anything off of it, right? And I think you were even there when I gave the tickets back to him, and I gave him all the money back. I gave him 100% of the money back. And then we did the show, we killed it. I remember that picture we took. There was like 40 of us by the stage, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Dope fucking night. I got home, still high off the show, and then I get a call from these guys, and they're like ripping me apart, talking about that I stole money and all this stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about? And like I tried to defend myself, they wouldn't listen. I tried to explain to them I didn't take any money, like I don't have anything or whatever. And told them what I've been doing for the club the last few weeks that gave us the spot, why we have access to it. They just weren't hearing it. They said some like wild shit, and I was done with the group. I was already on a tipping point, and that kind of just like was the last thing. I went to the label the next day. I sat down with Sean and Kai, and I told them, I'm like, you can either sign me to a solo deal or like I'm done. And they weren't interested in the solo thing. They wanted me to like talk to the group and make everything cool again or whatever. They wanted the whole Keep Six, so they're already invested in it, so I get it on their end. But I wasn't having it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it, and I left. And that was it, and that was the reason why I was gone. And then you guys were doing shows without me from that day on, whatever, right?
Yeah,
And then I would get calls at like 2 a.m. Yo, your group is trying to get the crowd to chant "fuck Faze." I'm like, what?
It wasn't me.
I was like, no, I know it wasn't you.
What?
And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, they're trying to get the group to chant "fuck Faze." Like a few of us just like walked out, and I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'm like, fuck it, like it's fine. Like thanks for letting me know, but I was whatever. I was already focused on this shit. I'd already started Elite Players. I was doing music. I think I probably did like a diss track, low key. I think I did, but not to you guys, to the label, because I told them because I'm still under contract.
Yeah.
I just left.
Yeah.
Then I released a song dissing DNA Music while I'm under contract. I'm still signed. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And like I don't know. So tell me about that. What was going on your end with that shit? Because I wasn't at those shows, and a lot of people are our fan base like were, right?
Yeah, it was a
Like,
crazy time, man.
Yeah.
For me too, and like is
Because you guys were still going for a while, doing shows and stuff.
yeah.
That's a big part of your.
I don't remember exactly how long. I think I stayed for like, I don't even know, maybe a year
Yeah.
or two. I don't remember exactly. Honest though, it kind of, that's when like, it's just like, to me, it's like a team, right? You know, man. And even though it didn't work,
Yeah.
it was sad for me. It
I
was a
know.
sad time for me, you know, because
Yeah.
like you're my best buddy, and I want everything to work, and then you're not there, and I was like, fuck, like, it's like having an MVP team and you lose one of your best players.
I
It's
went
like,
to jail.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that for me, and then I'm stuck in the middle, which it is what it is. Like, this is just history, and it is what it is. But then like, and then I'm stuck, and you know, it's like, fuck.
So what
man.
would you do? Because that must have been super
I
awkward
would
for you.
I would just walk to. I just wouldn't put the mic down.
Can't even
I'd just-
imagine,
Just
yeah.
like I'd just be like.
Because I knew you weren't a part of it, so I was wondering, what is he doing when he's there? Like, it must be so awkward for him.
Sometimes I would just. There's only one time I really remember it for specifically happening. Probably
Yeah.
exact same time you're talking about. I think it was like the Waldorf.
Oh,
I think
maybe.
it was the Waldorf, and
Yeah.
they did it, and I didn't. I think they said don't do it, and they did it or something, or it didn't happen, or I didn't expect them, or I don't know exactly. I can't remember, and I just was upset.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, okay, like, kind of, that's almost like in that time, even though I had stuff, you know, internally between girlfriends and stuff between, you know, won't get into that stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, like, it's just like, it's when it's like, if this is like soccer or hockey or something to me, in a sense, like, if I can't show up and everyone's having a good time, or at least giving their all, win or lose,
Yeah.
if we're not like clicking together, it's like, what's the fucking point of
Yeah.
showing up?
Exactly.
Like, I don't care if I'm on the best soccer team and gonna win a championship. If I don't click with the players or the coach, I'm like, I don't want to be
it's
here.
not fun. Yeah.
It's not
exactly.
fun for me, right?
Exactly.
It lost fun for me. So it was like a really hard time internally for me.
Yeah.
But as far as everything goes, I would just mind my business. I was like, you know, man, like, you know how I felt, you know where I sit in the status. And then I'm torn too, because like, and I did eventually leave the label for a lot of different reasons. And
Well, they brought someone else in, right?
yeah,
That other guy, I can't remember his name,
who?
but they brought like the DJ guy.
Oh, Richie.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was there for a little bit before.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think he became more of a part, a bigger part.
He would just do. He's a good guy, and he would help.
and then you guys got like
He
another.
would do sound, and then when after I left eventually, and I had to sit down with DZ, and I told him, and he got pretty upset, and not in a mad way, just, you know, like watching it all fall apart, kind of
Because Alibaba had also left at this point.
around that time, yeah,
Yeah.
and give or go.
Yeah. I
So
think it was pretty close to.
it
Might have
it
even
all
been
happened
forever,
within
yeah.
like 6 months.
Yeah.
All of like
It was
every
done.
after exactly once
Yeah.
the feeling lost.
I
it
remember
was
right
like,
after I left, then I would see mostly like those two, and then there was that other person. We don't have to get into that, but someone else got involved, and like it was all downhill after that. Because I remember there was like so much. There was always something every day. There was like a new story with that person, and it was like
a lot of drama.
and they were trying to become
behind
like
the
a bigger
scenes.
part of the group, and then like someone was kind of, you know, there was just. There was a lot of drama for sure. I don't want to say too much because I know you're still friends with.
Oh, no,
but I'm all like, yeah. Then what else? But it's cool. Like, we just have to talk about it because
No,
I mean, there's no beef or anything now.
No,
Like the
hell
shit
no.
has happened. It is part of our history, so we're just talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, it is
it's
what
good.
it is.
It's good to just talk and get it
People
out
made decisions.
for sure.
Got to stand by it, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I don't know what that situation is, or that came to an end as well. I guess, or I don't know.
Oh,
You
it's
don't want to talk.
great.
You're so uncomfortable. You don't
No,
talk about
I'm
anything.
trying to think. I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about, but I am.
You know who I'm talking about? You know,
Yeah, it's
you just,
all.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
Because she was a aspiring singer,
yeah,
and she wanted to get in on the tracks or whatever,
yeah.
and she was becoming like a manager and then part of the group, and then. Yeah, no, I just remember why I used to see like updates every now and then. I'm like, this shit's going downhill quick. And I remember you were always so pissed. You'd complain about everything that they did. Like every week there was something that pissed you off. You're like,
just crazy shit.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
then,
man.
and then one day you just like left, and then it was just like the two of them or three of them or whatever. Because I remember DZ and Brad were working together a lot. Like those two kept putting out music or whatever, right? And then I think you kind of just started doing your own thing, and then I was doing my own thing at that point. Because then I brought in T-Funk and Matt Myers. Well, you're the one that introduced me to T-Funk. And probably Matt Myers, to be honest. Like, well, like, so, because Matt was...
Friends with the same crew.
Matt was Pizza Boy.
Yeah.
And he was signed with... Well, he wasn't signed. He was working with OV. That was, like, his artist at White Peaks.
Right.
Yeah, and he was Pizza Boy at that point. And then, and he was fucking dope.
Yeah.
And then I remember how that ended or whatever. But then I had a conversation with him and I brought him in. I'm like, bro, I remember talking to him. I'm like, dude, your name is Matt Myers. That's a dope fucking name. Why is your name Pizza Boy? Like, you should be Matt Myers, bro. That's fucking sick.
It is a good
and
name,
so
too.
He's like, all right, cool. And he just changed it. So then he was like Matt Myers from then on. I'm like, bro, you have such a dope name. Why is your name Pizza Boy? Like, what the fuck? No one's buying Pizza Boy's album. You know what I mean? They'll buy Matt Myers' album.
Yeah.
Because he was a beast. On the mic, like, he was sick. And then T-Funk came in. I never heard anyone sound like that.
Yeah, he had a unique sound.
Yeah, he sounded dope, man. He had like
He had swag. Yeah, he had lots of swag.
It was more like his delivery.
Yeah, like,
was like,
come on, man, what you feeling, Dan?
Right? Like, what are these sounds coming out of him?
I know.
It's like a tall white guy. He's like talking like that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was killing.
Yeah.
It was definitely. It was, yeah, when it was crazy, and we're running with.
Because then we put out a mixtape, the three of us. I can't remember what it was called. But then, yeah, that led to like a bunch of shows and stuff.
Wow, I forgot about that too. I was on Funk's album too. One song.
Yeah.
Remember, I was on it's like a super cool beat.
Yeah.
I had a sick verse on one of his songs too.
Yeah.
I like a really good verse.
I think I remember that track.
There was one song, yeah, it was on the first one, and it was like a track 3. And I had
he was recording he knew a guy at the school, and he was recording there.
That's right. At AI.
At AI, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
so he
going
did some
down
tracks
there.
on my place, but he did a lot of tracks there too.
Well,
I think I went down there like once or twice as well with him, and he was recording. I was like, oh, this is dope.
That's crazy, man.
And he was buddies with Kevin too.
Yeah. Self-hired. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so that's crazy as well. Because I remember Kevin coming to my place, and he was just hanging out with T-Funk, and then I remember him being like, super nice guy, and he was just like, yo, do you mind, like, can I come out with you or whatever, just like whenever you guys are going out, like hang out and shit. I'm like, yeah, just introduce him to people, all that kind of stuff. And then next thing you know, he's like my head like promoter. You know what I mean? Then they kind of took that off my plate, because then I wasn't focused on bringing people out. I was kind of just working on the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he was even like recording me at the time.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Right? Because I'd go to his house and record.
Mm-hmm.
I'd record at my house too, but I'd record some stuff at his place. I used to chill at his place like pretty often, I think. And then, yeah, he had like self-hired things, so he would promote at the same time. And then he started doing like video editing. And then like I introduced him to a lot of artists, right? He started doing like videos for like Heatwave and all those guys, right?
Yeah, that's right.
He went out, like it was good. Like he would go out there and then he would like network and everything. And then he helped build my fan base for sure. Because a lot of people that came out to see me perform were like his friends from like high school and stuff. So we had that whole crew going. We used to, dude, our shows were like, wow. We did a show. Pretty sure you performed with me. You definitely performed with me. It was at Volume 11, but I don't think it was Volume 11 at that point. No, I don't think it was something else. It changed names, but it was the same venue. And we had, I think we brought a party bus out there. We brought a limo or something. I remember, yeah, it was a party bus because we had like 50 people that came out, and the place was like slammed. Because I remember they booked me. I remember I did a show at Levels, or sorry, not Levels, at fucking Boss. And a buddy at the time knew the promoters there, and was like, "These guys want you to perform," so I worked out a deal. And I think that was one of the first times I charged like a set rate. I charged them like $500 or some shit. And then they threw in the party bus as well. And I think we all rolled, like, Prophecy came out there. Jason, the singer from Miami, like, he came out.
Yeah,
Kevin was out there. That whole crew came out there.
Yeah, I think
And
maybe Adam Baines too.
maybe, yeah.
Or one of that. It was in that time. I don't remember.
Yeah. Fucking
oh, it's crazy.
What's it? Icy Touch was our DJ for Elite Players
Icy
at that
Touch,
point too.
wow.
Yeah, he was my main DJ for my sets and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
crazy.
I
Like
heard
he
that
started
name.
with me too. Like that's crazy,
It's
right?
crazy.
Like, and he's still DJing, doing his thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was DJing my set at that point. And yeah, all of us, we just like, dude, we did a crazy performance. I have the footage of it. I'm pretty
No
sure I have
way.
it. Yeah, I have it somewhere.
What?
Yeah,
Yo, that'd
yeah.
be sick.
I either have like, I don't know if I have the whole. I must have the whole thing somewhere. But Kevin, I think he took video footage. Like I have clips of it. Because when I would perform, before I performed, he'd make like video packages from like clips from all my shows. So I think I have that as like part of it.
Jeez.
And it was like wild too. Like you would see like some of the Wild Coyote shows we did after are in there.
Yo, we
And
gotta
then-
find some of this.
Yeah. It's on Facebook right now too. I'll show.
What?
Yeah, it's there. I'll show you after.
Dude.
Because I have, you can see us on stage at Wild Coyote. There's me and Prophecy on stage at Wild Coyote. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I used to jump on those railings like no one's.
Yeah,
business.
you can see the railings out there.
I
I
would
think we're like,
jump on
I
the
think we're standing
railings.
on it and like rapping over it. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, I'm pretty
dude.
sure. Like, yeah, you're definitely there for sure. I think you're in all the footage. I'll show it to you after this.
That's insane, dude.
Fuck, what were we talking about? We kind of just like fast forwarded to a bunch.
Yeah, no. Well,
But yeah, so that keepsake shit was like done at that point. Oh no, we forgot.
there's still lots.
We forgot about that shit. The meeting that I totally forgot about with the labels.
Oh yeah.
in the studio.
So I'll start this one, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
So this was after our album was done and everything. So the label got, because Kai had all these awesome connects. He knew these guys personally through him being signed before.
Right.
So they had a label meeting night, and we all, funny enough, they get us all in together, and they should have never let us drink, I don't think. That probably wasn't a great idea. It's because all I can remember, literally, you were right beside me with one of your awesome watches, like always.
Yeah.
But you were sitting, and all I remember is being, so
Like
so
awesome
we're in a
watches.
room, we're drinking, like we're actually vibing. So we have Universal, like the head of Universal, and I think you spelt it wrong when you posted it. It was EMI, not BMI. You posted it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, EMI record. EMI is
Because there is BMI too.
Is it?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty.
It might have been EMI. I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm pretty sure it was EMI anyway, but
Okay, maybe.
Universal
Maybe. Probably.
and-
You're probably right.
and Sony, and
Okay.
and those were the main guys. And I'm not
That's
sure.
crazy. Just think about that.
I know. This was like, these are like their A&Rs, if not their top, like
Yeah.
like the vice presidents, or
I
like
remember
as
they
high
were
as
like. I remember they were like legit
these-
guys because he knew them like because he was already signed to them. They were like
these
legit
are
people.
these guys are legit. Like I remember actually
They were like
talking.
the decision makers, pretty much.
I remember talking with the Universal guy at one point personally,
Yeah.
and then but the main moment is like I come inside and they're feeling us, like they're like, okay, like they're already in their head, like we want to offer these guys a deal.
Yeah.
In their heads, it's just what my perspective from how I can gauge the feeling of that day. They're already
Right.
liking us, we're having a good time, and then one song comes on. I don't remember which one it was, but it's my verse, or it's coming to my verse.
Yeah.
And I think Sean or someone looked at me, something, and then I just started rapping. But and then like so, and then now like they focus on me, and it was like kind of this real good moment.
Yeah.
But then, and I'm catching their attention. It's just like Deezy doing the live show.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, exactly.
they're like, because they're like, oh, like they come to expect to listen to some music and stuff and get to know us and what. I don't think they expected for me to perform live right then and there.
For sure.
And then, as being Faze, what you always do, you start improvising with me. You like put your arm on me, or, like
Yeah.
and then a part came up where a part where the time spot came on. You're
Yeah.
like, you put your watch out, and
Just
you're like
mimicking whatever.
in sync, being in sync, in synchrony, just like
Yeah.
like you said, like how we perform.
Yeah. But
So
me
much,
and you could always do that
We-
shit.
we
Like
all-
we don't have to fucking think about
100%.
it. We've
We-
always been like that.
and you just knew that once I stopped going, you go, here goes Hammy, I'm just gonna support this, and you're not gonna. I think you even did some of the BGs along with me.
Yeah.
And then you did like you mimicking stuff.
Yeah.
And I could see, and they afterwards they clapped, and it was like a moment, and I think I had goosebumps too, and it was like it was just like it's
yo, that's crazy.
It's just like I knew it was like that from I was like that
click,
they
that
loved us. I knew they liked us, but and then
like,
the
that
Universal
probably put us over the top, probably.
The Universal guys especially and the Sony, from what I remember, they really liked us all individually. They really liked when I did that. But everyone had their own, and they loved us all. And I remember just like that was like just a sweetener moment, and it was like it's a moment for me that I'll never forget. Like to perform in front of like these label heads, to have the opportunity to even just have an opportunity.
Still so early in our career,
I didn't even know what we're doing, and then
we're drinking.
We're drinking. They gave us beer. The label. We're sitting there drinking kokanee.
That's so
we're like
funny.
cheers. They're like, yo, let me rap. And then that was it.
What the fuck kind of meeting is that?
And I'll never
That's
forget
so
that
funny.
day. And it was just like little stuff like that, like little moments, like it's just hilarious. I still can't believe like they
That's
let
so
us drink,
funny.
but.
Right? Like it's so.
But well,
so
yeah, because they ordered pizza, and I had like I
Yeah.
remember it was like Domino's or something, and we had
It was like a whole
kokanee.
thing.
We had kokanees, and because we were in the studio all the time, so we put Red Bull in the kokanees to stay up at night. So when I was drinking, that's why I
maybe
think
that's why I'm doing this shit. Oh, what the vodka Red
Yeah,
Bulls and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That's how long I've been doing it.
yeah, but
Started then.
but I
18
remember
years.
during the session.
Shit.
So when we were recording the album,
Yeah.
I remember this is when Brad had the song Soldier.
Right.
And it was just he had the label. It was just Brad still at the time going. And I remember I went and did the song Soldier, and I really killed it, and I really made sure. And then they're like, "You guys are dope. Like you guys should do more." And I was like, "Well, fuck that. Like, this is the moment where I'm like, well, fuck that. Like I'm not. I got my boy. I don't go anywhere without my boy Faze, and I got my boy DZ, and then it just."
Yeah.
There was way more to it than that, but that was like same thing. Just the moment I remember doing that Soldier song. It's still one of my best verses till this day.
Yeah.
Like in my
you have
opinion. No, I don't.
You gotta get it from him. Does he have it?
No, it's on the album.
Oh, it's on the
Soldier,
album.
the Soldier
I was thinking,
song.
I'm like, I feel like I know this
Like,
song, but I thought it
True
was like
soldier
something you
never
did before.
dies, never lies. You can see his
Oh.
true essence in his
Oh,
eyes.
yeah,
Tell
yeah,
me
yeah,
why
I
do
know
I
that
feel
song,
like
I know
I'm
that
in the
song.
wrong direction when I'm not. Tell
Yeah,
me why
yeah.
my body feels like it's switching for pop.
No, I
Anyways,
remember that shit. Oh yeah, fuck. I
Right?
I don't know why I forgot it was called Soldier.
But
no,
then,
I remember that. Yeah, it's in the EPK as well.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We shot that, but
The 240p.
oh man,
We'll put it at the beginning of this episode.
yeah.
We'll put it like as the intro.
Oh my god.
It's in 240p.
Yeah.
So we apologize for that. We can't find a better version. That's the only version I know of. And it's on YouTube. It's been on YouTube this whole time. I don't know why. That's the only video we have on YouTube.
That's crazy.
All the shows we did, everything we've done.
we only
that's
have
the only
this,
show.
wow.
I remember we did an interview. It was at the Standard. We were performing, and we did a interview. I think either before or after.
Yeah.
And we're
after
all like,
the show,
after the show, we're all on the bench.
Yeah, we're
right?
sitting on the cement slab.
Did
or
they
the bench.
record that
It was filmed.
I feel
No,
like it was
we
filmed.
paid a guy
to film
to
it?
come
right?
do that.
Where the fuck is it?
I have one.
You
of them.
have it?
Yeah, I have one. I can't find the CD, but I have the case. I have the case.
You have an empty case.
No, but I have the CD. I just don't
How
know
do you
where
know
it
it's for that?
because it says it's the standard.
It just says
it's
like
printed. No,
it
it's
just
printed.
says like Maxwell.
No,
CD.
it's printed like a DVD. They print it on the outside.
Oh, it's like a legit thing.
It's legit. Looks
Have
like
I ever seen this? I
it's
don't know
like
if I've
that
ever
picture of me and you, and it's like side by side in the red that you posted.
Yo.
It's like that on the outside.
Is it?
Yeah.
What
And
the
then on the
fuck?
inside, it's a white thing that says "Keep Six Live" at the stand, like 2000, August 12th, 2008 or something like that. Isn't that crazy? 2008,
You know,
2007.
I feel like this sounds a little bit familiar now. Show me that. You gotta send me a picture of that shit.
I'll try and find it,
That's
man.
crazy.
When I find
I
it
was
at my
wondering.
house.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened to that interview? Because I remember they were asking us about the show and all that kind of stuff. And like, how are you feeling about? I remember we were sitting on that bench. They were like telling us like where to sit, where to stand, and stuff, so we could all be in the shot.
Yeah,
And I remember all that shit. Not performances. A lot of that performance is in the EPK as well.
Yeah.
They probably made it. They're probably the same people that like made the thing.
No, I don't think so. No, I think it's different.
Oh, okay. So we just gave that guy the footage.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was in 240p.
I think DZ set it up. I think that one.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't remember now.
We recorded it with a fucking potato.
Yeah.
Fuck, why is it in 240p? It wasn't like 100 years ago. It was
I
like
don't know why our
15 years ago.
EPK is in a. We'll post it so we had a little.
Yeah, it might be a little bit blurry. But
EPK
it's
is an
definitely
electronic video kit for
what are those letters again?
you know what an
Press
EPK
kit.
press kit. You know what I mean. But it's
EPK electronic video kit.
it's what you would put. You make it's a visual biography for labels to sign you. So we had one. It was really good.
Yeah.
We got posted on YouTube at the time, but for some reason it was posted in like 250 pixels.
Yeah.
So it's super blurry, and it's like
blurry.
the only like thing we have remote to a music video. And somehow, miraculously, this thing has 2,500 views on YouTube. Oh my
funny.
lord! I don't know.
Who the fuck is watching
I
this?
think it's when other people watch good videos and just defaults into that
Just-
one.
it just
It
continues
just
playing. Like, what the
continues
fuck is
into a
this?
blurred
Yeah.
video, and we
The
got
average watch
so-
time is like 3 seconds.
so we got
It's like,
2,500 default views.
Accidentally.
On that one.
Probably.
Accidentals.
It's on the guy's YouTube, like the guy who made it. It's on his. It's like part of his like. He's like, oh, it's like part
I know.
of his portfolio.
That'd be crazy if I could actually message him and ask if we get the original.
Do it.
Why? I'd
I
be
don't
like,
know.
hey,
I don't know if he still runs that YouTube channel.
yeah, who knows, man? You
Message
never
him.
know, right? Doesn't
Yeah.
hurt. But like, hey, do you have?
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Do that right
Do
now.
it right now.
Do that right
Yeah,
now.
red cut. Black.
I'm the worst at it. My editor's always like, hey, you want to tell
We're
them
black cut boys now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my mom is in the
With
VIP
donaires.
section, sitting with 2 donaires, waiting for me in the VIP, chopping it up with fucking Mark Emery about politics, and not
That's
the good,
wild.
not the good kind. She's
No.
bashing them.
Yeah.
And he's just listening, like, yep.
Yeah, that sounds like.